So this thing is definitely an up close and personal type gun. Let's go grab some more ammo. What is going on, YouTube? We are doing the first shots of the Bond Arms Blackjack. Now, I'm only gonna do 410 today, but I got a wide variety of 410, and that's what I love about 410 is because you can shoot a ton of different types of ammo in a pistol. It's really nice. So we got Winchester Defender 410 2.5 inch, 3 plates plus some 12 plated BBs here. We got Hornady Critical Defense, the triple defense. So this one has a slug plus 2 balls. We just got some regular hunting slugs, 1/4 ounce, 1500 feet per second. And then finally, we got 5 rounds of triple-aught buck, 2.5 inch. So we're gonna just run through this ammo. We'll try it out. The only distance I'm gonna do this at is at 5 yards. So let's get to it. Okay, so with this thing here, if we take a 2.5 inch shell and show you, there's just that much barrel for this thing to get rifling. Now the rifling only starts at 3 inches of this thing. It's a 3.5 inch barrel, so there's only 1/2 inch of rifling. So you're not going to be super accurate with this thing. Now, I will say the recoil is not too bad, but the trigger, not the best here. And but I will say it does fit really nicely in your hand here. And I do enjoy the small stature of this gun, but for this case, it is like, you're in my face and I'm going to use this on you. It's not anything far away. So right now we have the Defender rounds in here. Let's see if we can just hit my steel plate. Now I don't want to get like too much closer to this thing because I don't want at least for it to bounce back at me, if that makes sense. So I'll aim center of that plate and let's see what happens. Yeah, miss. I will say though that this is a little hard to get 2 hands on. It's definitely a one-handed type weapon. Couple more Defender rounds. Now, I'm not gonna do a ton of ammo with this thing because 410 is expensive, and with the buckshot rounds, I paid $10 for 5 rounds. So it's a pretty spendy round here. Okay. And this trigger is terrible. Holy frick. There we go. God. Okay. Let's try again. All right. Now I'm getting the hang of it. Okay. Let's try the triple defense rounds. Okay. Well, I think I got the hang of it now. Let's try a little bit further away. So I think that's probably, it's between 10 to 15 here. Missed there. Okay, next up we got the rifled slugs. Don't even know where that one went. And now these are stuck. God. Alright, I had to poke a stick of those spent casings there. Okay, let's try this again. Close but no cigar. And these are stuck again. Now I will say that these rifled slugs are not the best. They are pretty shitty ammunition here. Okay. Close but no cigar. Okay, let's try the buckshot at this range. Yeah, not close at all. Let's move back up. Okay, so I'm not gonna shoot those rifled slugs anymore. I've had that ammunition for a couple years now, and it's never been the best. But I'm gonna use up the rest of the Hornady and the Winchester defensive rounds, because it seems like those are best suited for this gun right now. So I think I'm probably at like 7 yards right now. I really want to love this gun, but the quirk of this trigger here is that it doesn't go back, it goes down. So you have to like go at a downwards angle here, and it's not the best. And as I'm like aiming this, I can feel my hand go all over the place because I'm just trying to feel for that wall, and there's just no wall there. Okay. See, at that point, I wasn't even expecting the recoil there. It shoots up because I don't feel the wall or the break of the trigger. Like, this thing would do a lot better if it had a nicer trigger. Okay. And like I said, the grip feels nice, does fit in my hand, but I think it's just a hair too wide here. Okay. Okay. After 20 rounds of it just smacking right into my middle finger knuckle there, and just throw this glove on here. Okay. Let's see if this helps. Okay, my camera overheated, so I had to move the target here. So we would at least be in the shade for the camera. So, God damn it. Okay, so as I have found, this thing is really only good for 5 yards, which is what I expected. My critique of the gun, I have two. One is the grip here. The grip is a little too wide to get like a full purchase on it, and with the trigger, it just makes for like just a loose fitting handle on it. So then when the gun does shoot, it goes kind of like that. So there's that. Going on with that grip, it is smacking me in my middle knuckle right here, my middle finger knuckle. Other than that, like, not critiquing it past that, because obviously this thing has a very special purpose, and it's not going to be something that you would keep as like your main carry gun here. Yeah, and then just that downward motion of that trigger, it gives you no sense of when this thing is actually gonna fire. And like I said, it just moves back like this. So there's that. But this does shoot my favorite round, which is the Hornady Triple Defense. I think this round is so much fun to shoot. Okay. Yeah, and like I can get it, but god damn. I love the grip, like I love the look of the grip, but it's too wide for my hand. And because the gun is so small, like I said, you can only use one hand here. Okay, got 3 rounds left. And at 5 yards, like I can hit my 6-inch plate with it, but like I said, this trigger here, see how it's like it requires a downward motion, not a backwards motion. So if they were going to redesign this thing, smaller grip, better trigger. And I think the other cool thing that this thing will have, like that's not shooting, is the cleanup, because all you have to do is pop that barrel open, take a bore snake and clean it out, and you're good. Whew. All right, guys. I love this thing, even with its faults, the shitty trigger and the wide grip. It will make up like a great backup piece. Put it behind your waistband. Use it in case you have someone on you can't reach your main gun. This thing is perfect, and safety features are nice on it. Has a rebounding hammer, and from what I can tell, even with the safety off, the hammer can't go forward unless that trigger is pulled down. So have the safety off, hammer's not going forward, trigger is down, now it will. But for what it is, cool little gun. I think you should think about getting one, but don't spend the money on the way expensive ones. At the most part, most people would use this as a range toy. Not a lot of people would actually carry this. If you are carrying this, I hope it is your backup gun and not your main piece. I was only able to hit 5 yards, and as I was testing with the paper in my first shots, I mean, I could barely hit the paper there at first. But as I got more used to it, I was able to hit those 5 yard shots just fine. but you're not going to be using this to hit 5 yards unless someone's charging you. You're really going to be using this if someone is, now this thing is empty, pressed up against you, you know. And the nice thing about this, it's not like a semi-automatic where it will go out of battery if it's pressed up against someone. It will run just like a revolver. You pull that hammer back and it will fire even if it is pointed, if the muzzle is in someone, you know. So great looking piece, glad to have it, but as far as that goes, it's only a 5-yard weapon. Now it's kind of like the North American Arms mini revolver, but you're going to get 5 rounds with that, but it's 22 Magnum, so you kind of got to pick and choose. You get 2 with this, but you can do 45 Colt or 410. Now I didn't do any 45 Colt today because I don't shoot a whole lot of 45 Colt, and I didn't want to spend the $75 to get a box for just this thing. And I suspect that most people, when they buy this thing, are getting it to shoot the 410 and not the 45 Colt. At least that is for my case. But yeah, and I only ran 2.5 inch. This thing does take 3-inch 410, and I'm sure that will kick more and handle a little bit differently. But as of right now, I think this thing would be a little bit better with just a hair smaller of a grip and width. I think the length is just fine, but yeah, I don't know, because they do make the 4570 and the 50 AE and the 44 Magnum in this. I do not know how motherfuckers shoot that thing, because there is just, it's so wonky to control. Like pulling the trigger down, because it's a downward motion, it just naturally makes the gun move. It's a hard thing to describe. You know it when you're feeling it, but yeah, it's just, I've never flinched with a gun before, and this has made me flinch, which was weird to feel. So there it is, guys. Thanks for watching. This is the Bond Arms Blackjack.